I've always had stomach issues, so my stomach would alternate from constipation to diarrhea. I had a lot of anxiety and depression, and I used to hike a lot, so I had messed up one of my knees. So I get pain in my knee occasionally and swelling. But since switching to plant-based diet, I've gone off a lot of my anxiety and depression medications. We're still tapering those that I'm on still. I have a lot more energy. I'm not getting the joint pains and swelling. And just overall, my body feels good.
Welcome to the Plant-Based Eating Made Easy podcast. I'm your host, Anna Zinn, plant-based registered dietitian and transition coach. Hi friend, do you want to regain your health with plant-based eating but feel overwhelmed and lost about how to do it? Do you feel it'll be hard to change your meat-heavy diet and impossible with working, running the home, or chasing after the grandkids? If so, you're in the right place. Here you'll find simple strategies, clear nutrition guidance, and practical tips to help you thrive plant-powered with more energy. So if you're ready to ditch the guesswork and transform your health the stress-free way, cozy up now with a hot cup of tea or listen while you walk, and let me show you how doable plant-based eating can be. Let's do this. Welcome back to this interview with my guest, Rhonda. I'm really excited to have her back on to share more about her health journey and plant-based eating thus far. In part one of this interview, we spoke about Rhonda's background, how she moved from a very busy, bustling city in Southern California all the way out to Idaho, and what a change of pace that was for her and her family, and about her autoimmune disease and the sudden hospitalization she had. At that time, she was hospitalized for kidney failure, and it was really quite a severe stage of kidney disease. Her GFR was 12, and she was basically at stage 5, which meant that she needed either a kidney transplant or dialysis very soon in the future. And it was her kidney doctor who actually recommended that she try a plant-based diet, and that though it may not restore completely her kidney function, it would probably be the best chance for her to be able to improve her kidney function naturally. So Rhonda and her husband decided to try this out, and it has been about 6 months, and so far it sounds like things have really improved on the kidney function level, which is fantastic to hear. And even her doctor was very happy to see the results of her GFR going up, her glomerular filtration rate, which is a measure of kidney function. So thank you, Rhonda, for being here with us again today. I'm so excited to delve back into learning more about your health journey. I'd like to find out from you, before you moved into plant-based eating, did you have other health challenges, mental or physical, while on a regular diet?
Yes, I've always had stomach issues, so my stomach would alternate from constipation to diarrhea. I had a lot of anxiety and depression, and I used to hike a lot, so I had messed up one of my knees. So I get pain in my knee occasionally and swelling. But since switching to plant-based diet, I've gone off a lot of my anxiety and depression medications. We're still tapering those that I'm on still. I have a lot more energy. I'm not getting the joint pains and swelling. And just overall, my body feels good. I don't feel lethargic. I'm not tired. So all those little things that I just thought, getting older, my body's not as energized as it was before. It was from eating stuff my body just didn't like that was taking its toll. My husband and I cut down on the coffee. We just had that natural energy. We were noticing we were waking up before the alarm clocks and we were wide awake. It was no more that sluggish hit the snooze button about 10, 15 times. It was like, you know what? The sun's coming up. My eyes are awake and I'm awake. And we were awake throughout the day. There wasn't that need for naps anymore.
Yes, that's very true. I think when we get to a certain age, often our 40s and above, when things start to not feel quite right in our bodies, we tend to attribute it to just advancing age, don't we? Like, oh, I don't have as much energy levels, or my body's just not working as well. I'm getting more joint pain and aches here and there. When I think we often don't say Maybe it is some of the foods I've been eating, or maybe I need to eat in a slightly different way to nourish my body more. And that's wonderful to hear that you have more energy levels and you have less pain as well.
I just feel like there's been a complete change in how my body reacts to things. I'm not having these strong hunger pains an hour or two after I ate because I ate a ton of empty calorie stuff that wasn't going to satisfy me and fulfill me. Now I'm eating these foods that are keeping me full for longer and that are actually nourishing my body instead of harming it.
I love what you said about you're now eating the foods that will nourish your body instead of harming it. That's a great reminder for us that the foods that we put into our bodies do have that ability to build us up or to impact us negatively in the long run, and possibly even short run. Like you said, if it's more empty calories or foods that are not nutrient dense, our bodies processes that faster and we go into that high or low much faster. Did you have any weight changes since you started plant-based eating?
I did. I've actually lost a pretty significant amount of weight. I've gone down about 4 pant sizes. And so that is definitely a big change I've seen and something I wasn't expecting, but something I'm definitely happy with. I guess just an added benefit. It wasn't what I was looking for. I wasn't looking to lose weight.
That's fantastic. 4 pant sizes. So before you started plant-based eating, what was your weight like and what is it now?
Before I started plant based eating, I was ranging between 215 and 220. And now, 6 months later, I am down to a little over 170. I kind of have that 2 pound fluctuation. And for my height, I'm 5'7". It's a pretty healthy weight. I'm not overweight, but I'm not too thin at the same time. So I feel very comfortable. I'm very happy where I'm at. There's been days where we're going with friends or family out to a restaurant. Okay, let's try it. And then the next day, we're just like, "Oh, it didn't taste the way we remember it tasted." Our bodies just feel ugh, our guts feel heavy. Our body has acclimated so well to eating healthy that when we decide, "Hey, I'm gonna have a hamburger," or "I'm gonna eat some french fries," our bodies just don't like it, and they let us know they don't like it.
It's almost like you're taking care of a car and you're maintaining it well, and it has been acclimatized. So used to having this great fuel inside it to run the best. And then when you put different kind of fuel inside, you can feel the difference. Whereas before, if you were just on a regular diet the whole time, you don't really have the chance to see anything different, right? To feel any different. But now that you've moved to a different way of eating, when you go back and have a few of those other things that you used to have, you're able to see that difference much more clearly. Have you made other lifestyle changes at the same time, like perhaps your sleep, exercise, water intake?
Yes, absolutely. Before, I would drink water, but we'd buy water bottles and I would drink 1 or 2 a day at most. But it was all coffee and soda, juices we were drinking throughout the day. Now I have an actual 1 gallon water bottle I got off of Amazon, and I feel that I can drink that without an issue in a day. And I feel good. And I notice if I don't drink my water the next day, if I forget my water bottle, so I'm just drinking small cups of water here and there, my body feels it. It craves the water now. Like even snacks. I love eating apples. My husband laughs because he says I eat way too many apples. I can eat a tree a day. But my body is like, ooh, that sounds good. It's these healthier things. And so it's been fun to see all the different changes and the ripple effect. Because even at work, I have one coworker who will come in and she'll be like, I was at Trader Joe's and I saw this fruit. I have no clue what it is. Let's try it together. So it's even encouraging her to just jump out of her comfort zone, just trying new little fruits and vegetables. So it's been an adventure.
How fun to be able to try these new foods together with your coworker. I'm glad she thought of you and saw that new food, that fruit, and wanted to try it. It's wonderful that just moving to plant-based eating, you've impacted the rest of your family and possibly now your work environment too. And definitely water is So important just to be able to hydrate ourselves properly and also keep things moving well through our bodies as well. And even the apples that you mentioned, I think that would be great for listeners to know that even though you're eating fruits and vegetables and all the other whole grains, beans on a plant-based diet, it hasn't really impacted your hemoglobin A1C. It's actually come down. Whereas a lot of people who have blood sugar issues will be so worried about eating so many fruits and things because they think it'll bump up their blood sugar levels. It sounds like you're pretty much just focusing on the kind of foods you bring into the home, those whole plant-based foods. Are you doing any kind of counting calories, restricting carbs, or portion sizes at all?
No, not at all. I know that's like the main focus for everybody. Oh, you got to watch how many calories you eat, how much carbs you're putting into your body. And oh, you've got the measuring cup and the scale out as you're serving. When we cook, we eat until we're satisfied. If I want a second helping, I'm going to get a second helping. If I'm not that hungry and I'm only going to eat a half portion, I'm going to eat a half portion. It's not the same as if I was eating all these processed foods, making the potatoes and adding butter and cheese and sour cream. If I'm eating a potato, I'm flavoring it with the bell peppers and onions and jalapenos and other things to give it that flavor. I'm not adding all the extra fats onto it. And so we don't really limit or take count of all that, which makes it a lot easier and a lot more sustainable way of eating because you're not just so focused on how much I ate and how much I didn't eat. And at the end of the night, counting up and saying, oh, I went over my calories. It's 7 o'clock and I'm hungry and I can't even have a snack because I'm going to go over on calories or anything like that. So I think that's the best part of it. When you're hungry, you eat. You eat until you're satisfied and you're not worrying about is it too much? Is it too little? And exactly what you're eating because everything you're putting in your mouth is good for you. It's healthy for you. And your body's going to use it in the way it was intended to.
Yes, that's so true. This lifestyle and this way of eating is really freeing. A lot of fat diets involve restrictive eating or portions, counting every single bite that you take. I think you understand that having been on a couple of diets yourself in the past just to lose weight, that kind and way of living, you can do it for a little bit, but often to sustain it for many months on end takes emotional and mental energy to sustain it and keep it going. Whereas this is much more sustainable. How did you make this change in your lifestyle? Was it a complete switch or was it a bit more gradual over a week or two that you made this change?
For me, it was pretty rapid because I had all the health issues. And so for me, I just went cold turkey. For my husband and the kids, it was kind of gradual. What we did is my 20-year-old, he lives not too far from us. So we're like, hey, Nick, we packed up all the meat. Come pick it up, because we're Costco shoppers. So we'd go once a month and we'd load up the freezer with all the meats from Costco. So we had a ton of stuff in there. We're like, okay, if we're going to change, we got to get rid of this stuff we're not going to eat. So my son came over all excited. He took all the meat. He took all the macaroni and cheese and all that kind of stuff, we had in the cupboards. Then we're like, okay, we're going to make these changes. And so for me, it was drastic. For them, it was gradual, but we definitely got rid of the meat and all the processed foods first thing. And so my husband and the kids were still doing dairy products. So their cheese, eggs, milk. And slowly but surely, they kind of just forgot about those things because we were using recipes that didn't include them. When the kids go to school, they'll eat whatever's on the lunch menu. They don't limit themselves. When they go over with friends, we're not packing them lunch saying you can't eat the other stuff. But they're making those choices on their own now because they'll be like, oh, mom, we went to so and so's house and they ordered pizza and it was too greasy. So I just asked their mom if she had salad I could eat. And so for my daughter to do that and not want to indulge in the pizza, that's a huge change for her, just making those decisions on her own. I mean, what kid doesn't want to sit there and eat pizza all night? But for them, here and there, they're still eating whatever they want. but I'm not going to limit them and say, hey, I'm going to eat this way. So are you. But we do encourage them to eat healthier. Like I said, I did go cold turkey on all of that. And for my husband, that wasn't going to work for him because he's grown up on eating meat and all that other stuff.
I think you're building and instilling and leading by example in your children that it's okay to not go with the flow of what everyone's doing, right? But you can make choices yourself that may be better for your health. And eventually, I know that's what we want for all our children. They have to grow up and move on, right? They have to make decisions in life when they turn into an adult, and they have to be able to make these lifestyle eating choices on their own in the future. So these are practice sessions and it gives them a chance to decide for themselves how they want to eat outside the home. But you're doing your part by providing these plant-based options in the home. What has been helping you on your plant-based diet journeys thus far? As you continue to move forward in plant-based eating, have there been certain resources or modes of support you found quite helpful for you?
Having my Facebook groups that I can lean on. I've got a couple of friends here locally that when I've talked about the lifestyle changes we've made have said, "Oh, we've been eating that way for a while." People we never would have known because we live in such a judgy society. Everybody's got their opinions on everything that when you do something against the norm, nobody wants to talk about it. And so being open about the changes we're making, we're finding out there's actually people in our inner circle who eat the same way we do. So it's been a fun journey to just be able to share it, with some of our closer friends also.
It must have been a wonderful surprise to be talking with your close friend and then find out, hey, they've been doing something similar all this time and you didn't realize. So I'm glad you have found some support within your inner circle as well as outside through those Facebook groups. And we're definitely happy and glad you're part of the Beginners for Plant-Based Diet Success Facebook group. We value your input and hope you feel supported there as well. So as we come to a close, I would like to ask you, for someone who is considering making this lifestyle shift from a regular diet to a plant-based diet, what would you say to them? Is there a key message or takeaway tip you want to give them?
I would say just do it. Just try it because just even doing just a couple days in, I just felt so good. It was just so positive on my body how I felt overall, sleeping better. I didn't feel like I was always in a daze. I wasn't having headaches. I wasn't feeling hungry all the time. I wasn't feeling nauseated because I ate too much greasy food. My body just felt revitalized. And I think if I never would have just did it and I just kept saying, I'm just going to research, 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 like I do with a lot of other fad diets, I never really started. It's just something you have to try and you don't have to go in 100%. What my plant based whole food way of eating may not look exactly the way yours does or my friend down the street. It's okay. And so I think that's the best part. You have those freedoms to choose what you do and do not want to eat. And eventually, all those things that you craved before, you no longer crave. So I would say just go for it. Just make those small, subtle changes. And eventually, it'll all come along where you're just all in and you didn't even realize it.
That's a great tip. I agree. Often you have to step into something and try it out and see how your body responds to it. You may be surprised. And I love how you are encouraging our listeners to really take that little step forward. Plant based eating is a journey. So you can start at one point and you can keep moving forward and you can be ending at a different point. I want to thank you, Rhonda, for being here today, for sharing your story with me and our listeners. Whenever I do these guest interviews, I always leave feeling amazed at the power of whole plant-based foods to transform a person's health and life. And that's how I'm feeling here once again. You have an amazing story, Rhonda, and it's just amazing how within a few months of eating this way, your health has improved so much with less pain, less gut issues, less meds, a healthier weight, and more energy. I can't wait to hear more updates as you continue plant-based eating, of how your kidney function continues to improve and your health and that of your family continues to improve. So thank you for sharing so openly, Rhonda, and I appreciate how personal and relatable your story is. I know many of our listeners here today will also be able to identify with some of the challenges and health issues that you've had. And I hope this will really inspire and encourage them to take that first step forward into trying out plant-based eating. So thank you, Rhonda. I appreciate you being here with us today.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening to the Plant-Based Eating Made Easy podcast. If this podcast has helped you, please take a moment to rate and leave a written review on the Apple Podcast app or on iTunes. Knowing how this podcast has made a difference in your life never fails to light me up. I may also select your review to be read on the show. Remember that moving to plant-based eating can be simple and doable, even with your existing health challenges and busy lifestyle. If you have a plant-based diet question you'd like me to answer on this show, share that question with me using the contact options in the show notes. Thanks for joining me today, and I can't wait to connect with you again in the next episode. Until next time, keep plant-focused and thriving, my friend.